Hello everyone, my name is Katie, I am the Introverted Reader, and today's video we're gonna sit and have a wee talk. And we're gonna sit and talk about whether or not 5-star predictions are a waste of time. Bear with me, okay? But before we do any of that, make sure you've drunk water today. Go drink water. If you haven't got water, go get some, come back. Woo! Because it hasn't been that warm in the UK as of lately, but as of lately it's just decided to be muggy AF. Like, even though the sun isn't even out, it's just ugh. Anyway, so if you got your water, right, sit, I want to have a wee chat with you. So I was sitting thinking about what I wanted to do for today's video, and then I remembered I made a video over a year ago where I talked about my 2023 5-star predictions. So I clicked on that video and I was like, okay, let me see if any of these actually did pan out. And the books that I read, the first one, the very, very first one that I mentioned in that video was A Million to One by Abdiba Jagardar. Now, I've loved everything else that woman has put out, okay? I read Honey and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating and The Henna Wars. Both of them I gave 5 stars to. I wasn't expecting to, but I did. And then whenever this one came out, it was about these 4 women in the 1900s that boarded the Titanic, and they were going to do a heist aboard the Titanic. And I ended up DNFing that book. I ended up DNFing it, and I felt really quite ashamed because I was like, I had this idea in my mind that it was gonna be a 5-star like the other reads I've read from her, but then obviously not every book you read by an author you love is gonna be a 5-star. Do you know what I'm saying? So I guess the prediction is moot at this point, I mean, on that list as well was Frostheart and Dowry of Blood. Very, very different books, but both of them I gave 5 stars. So sometimes it works out. And then sometimes, obviously, it doesn't. But the bad outweighed the good in that scenario because it was only Frostheart, Dowry of Blood, and A Song of Summer Flame at Night by Emily Wen Zhao that I gave 5 stars to on the list. 3 out of maybe like 7 or 8 books that I mentioned in that video. So like the bad kind of outweighed the good. And then that got me thinking, is just making 5-star predictions just a waste of time? Because you never know. You never ever know. And like and like this, like it could be an author that you absolutely adore. Like TJ Klune. I love TJ Klune. Nearly like do I have any of his books in here? Yeah. I have Under the Whispering Door and House in the Cerulean Sea on this shelf here behind me. Out in the shelf out there, I've got the Lightning Struck Heart series. All books that I have given high ratings to, okay? The majority being 5 stars. But then In the Lives of Puppets came out. I genuinely thought, yep, gonna be a 5-star. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be this, gonna be that. It wasn't. I ended up giving that book 3 stars. Do you know what I mean? 3 stars, not a bad rating. But still, you have the idea in your mind of what it could be, but then it never works out. Like, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's an interesting thing to think about because we all have these expectations in our minds of what certain books are going to be like, but then we actually sit down and read them and, it's either like, oh, it was okay, 3-star, not what I thought, because I can't tell you the amount of times I've been watching either a wrap-up or a reading vlog or some other video from a booktuber on this platform where they're like so excited to get into one particular book, and they're all excited and they get into it, and 9 times out of 10 by the end of it they're like, well, it wasn't a 5-star because you built it up too much in your mind. You built it up too much in your mind, and reality was like, well, me and expectations aren't getting married today, I'll tell you that now. Do you know what I mean? Am I making any sense? This might be just a wee waffle. But another book that I had hoped to be 5-star within that video was She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Now, I've talked about that book in in one of my past videos. But whilst I loved and adored the characters within that book, because it's basically about this girl who, as a child, her father took her and her brother to a fortune teller when they were children, and the fortune teller told the boy that he was destined for greatness, and then telling the girl that you are destined for absolutely nothing because you're a woman and you're worth nothing. And it's basically a story about, you know, her brother dies, and then she takes on his identity, and it, you know, just her going on this journey throughout, you know. And I loved how the whole idea of her journey, and the other main character in that book as well, is that it doesn't matter like your gender identity. It doesn't matter like what your physical body looks like or has or doesn't have. You might not look like the stereotypical version of what people expect you to be, but that doesn't have to stop you from achieving your goals or achieving greatness. And like, whilst on the one hand I loved all of that, the overall plot was very politic heavy, was very military heavy. And again, nothing wrong with that. It just dampened my experience because I found myself zoning out a lot, you know, and it just kind of ruined the experience. And 9 times out of 10, that happens when you read certain books. They're not all they're cracked up to be. And then you look back at a video you made over a year ago thinking, oh, I thought I was going to love every single one of them. That's not the case, Babs. That's not the case, I'm afraid. So that's really all I wanted to say. Like, make all the 5-star predictions that you want. Let me know if you have made any in the past year or so. Let me know if they fulfilled your expectations or if they didn't. And if they didn't, let me know. Do you agree with me? Am I making any sense? This was a really short video, but I couldn't really think of anything else to do today. And frankly, I just want to sit like a slug. So I'm going to head on. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. Let me know your opinions, thoughts, feelings, whatever in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a like so the algorithm knows you like me. Ring the bell so you know when my next video comes out. My next video is going to be on Saturday, and it's going to be my wrap up for the month of June, which will be very interesting, let me tell you. Anyway, I am sweating, so all my socials are down below as always. Follow me on all of them. And yeah, I love you guys. See you in my next video. Bye.